Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Stotra Satasya Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Lakshmi Narsingh Dev Srila Giriraj Krishna Sri Sri Radha Raman Ji Ki Jai, Sri Sri Krishna Balram Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar Sri Sri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. So, thank you for joining, all of you. This is our, in this session, we have this last lecture, but not necessarily the list. We will have more and more interaction with all of you. So today we are going to discuss what is the goal of human life. It's a very important topic because we study Bhagavad Gita to understand what is the purpose of life. And let us start the discussion without delay. I am pretty thankful to all of you, those who have attended all the lectures and have completed this course, because okay, so are everybody able to see this? Is a
Yes, sir, visible.
Visible? Okay. So there are 8 million species of life. You see the word. I don't know how this is like this, where you have recapitulation of the previous thing. Okay. So anyway, so as I have told you that human life is very rare, because wherever you are now sitting there, you are only probably 1 or 2 human beings in that room, but there are other millions of species living in that house along with you, from mosquitoes to cockroaches to lizards. So there are 8.4 million species. And in Padma Purana, there are this description, Jalaja Navalakhyani. Jalaja means those who are aquatics, those who live in the water. And then Stavara Lakhya Vingsati. These are the plants. So various of plants, they are Lakhya Vingsati, means 20 lakh. So there are 20 lakh plants, species, trees and plants. Krumaya Rudra Sankhyaka. Rudra means 11. There are 11 Rudra. Among 33 demigods, there are principal demigods, and each demigod has 1 crore assistant. That is how there are 33 crore demigods, and 33 principal demigods, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 8 Vasus, 2 Asina Kumaras. So that's how it becomes 33. So Rudra means 11. Rudra Sankhyaka means 11 lakh are insects and reptiles. And Pakhinam Dasalakshanam. So 10 lakhs are different species of birds. Trimsala Lakshani Pasavaha. Pasava means the animals. They have 30 lakh varieties. Chatur Lakshani Manusaha. So humans are of 4 lakh varieties. So if you look at the entire universal system, there are human beings, different kind of, like human beings in the Indraloka are different, human beings in Chandraloka are different, and also there are different human beings within the earth itself. And there are human beings also in the lower planetary systems. So this is the quotate. So you can see the same description here. 2 million trees, 1.1 million insects and reptiles, 1 million birds, 3 million animals, and 0.9 million aquatics, and 0.4 million humans. So you can see, although humans are 4 lakh species out of 84 lakhs, it looks very significant. It's not very significant because human species are very rare. So 7 billion human population as far as Earth is concerned. But there, the other population that we have, other beings are in, all of them are soul. Same unit of consciousness animates, whether it is an aquatic or a plant or a reptile or a bird or an animal or a human being. It is the same unit of consciousness. And we have all gone through these phases of life. So do you want to go back again through this cycle of 8.4 million species, or you want to attain your eternal nature? That is the question. Okay. So human life is very special and a life of responsibility. Srila Prabhupada used to give a very nice example. You can see there is a bungalow and there is a hut. Okay, if there is a company, the manager would live in the bungalow, whereas a clerk of that company would live in a hut, in a rented apartment, right? But if something goes wrong with the company, manager loses the job. but the clerk doesn't lose the job. Why? Because manager has the responsibility. Manager has the responsibility. Similarly, human life is very special in terms of responsibility. Life of responsibility means in human life, you should search for truth, athatha brahma jigyasa. If you fail to perfect your life in human form of life, this life will not be given to you. You'll be degraded to animal species or other lower form of species. But animal form of species or other lower form of species, they always go up in the ladder of the evolution. So a plant will go to the reptiles species, reptiles will go to the bird species, birds would go to the animal species. So there is evolution there. But once you come to human life, you have the choice either to perfect and transcend the materialistic life and go to the spiritual life, or degrade to this 8.4 million species. So a lapse in human life can lead to lower form of species. You can see that at the time of death. If your consciousness is that of a fruitive mentality, you take birth again here. But if your consciousness is is mostly pertaining to eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, then you may take birth among animals, plants, insects. It all depends what kind of consciousness you have acquired being in the body of a human. A human cannot live like an animal. This is very important. Okay. So what for human life? Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha samanyam etat pasubhir naranam dharmo hi tesam adhiko viseso dharmena hina pasubhi samana. Eating, sleeping, sex, and defense. These four principles are common to both human beings and animals. The distinction between human life and animal life is that a man can search after God, but an animal cannot. Like all of you are sitting and hearing. So in the human form of life, you can hear and contemplate on the nature of truth. Therefore, a man without that urge for searching after God is no better than an animal. So this is very, very important. You need to decide what you want. You have got a human form of life. You are getting this knowledge now that human life is meant for perfection. Athatho brahma jigyasa. You must attain your true nature. You should not loiter among 8.4 million species by putting on temporary dresses. Okay. So in Vedic literature, there are 4 goals for human life. Dharma, that means you lead a life of dharma. Life of dharma means no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. Okay. And according to your nature, you act. You act as an introspector of truth, intellectual. You act as administrator, or you act as businessman, or you act as service provider. This we have already talked about, right? So this people are taught to follow the path of dharma, and then if you're following the path of dharma, then you can you can perform your occupational duty for economic development. And from that economic development, you can satisfy your desires, which are within the realm of dharma. Normal desire for a human life is to get married and procreate, and then when time is right, you give up your householder life, become a retired person, and exclusively dedicate yourself to Krishna consciousness. So that is called moksha. So these are the four dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are the general goal of a Vedic culture, minimum. You cannot go below this. So let us talk a little bit about dharma. I have already talked to you. Dharma means satya, daya, saucha, tapa, truthfulness, compassion, cleanliness, austerity. I have already explained this. So you cannot you cannot act or engage in illicit sex or gambling or intoxication or meat eating. And as I told you, dharma is the prescribed duty, intellectual class, administrative class, business class, labor class. Artha, by finding out one's nature and engaging in the occupational duty accordingly for one's livelihood. So this is called artha, right? You want to get married. If you want to get married, then you need to engage in an occupational duty where you can earn, right? So, and then kama. And what is kama? The one of the very important aspect of satisfying your desire is not to violate dharma, the principle of dharma. But you see, what normally we do when we enter into society as a householder, the biggest problem is that we follow this path of our own destruction. Dhayato vishayan pungsa sangas tesu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate. While contemplating the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for them, and for such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. Like normal Indian society, suppose you are living in a colony and your neighbor purchases as a Lamborghini or whatever, Fortuner or something. So suddenly your wife would come and say, see, they have already got a Lamborghini. What are you doing? So these kind of things, what it does, makes you restless because you are meditating. Oh, my wife wants a bungalow, my wife wants a car. And then, so you have this excessive attachment to those objects to satisfy you, yourself or your family members. So, and because you are not capable of fulfilling all those desires, kamat krodha vijayate. So you become angry. You become angry. And what happens? Krodhat bhavati sammoho, sammohat smriti vibhrama, smriti bhransat buddhinaso, buddhinasat pranasyati. From anger, complete delusion arises. From delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So this is our greatest tragedy. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. When there is krodha, where there is krodha, you lose your sense. You completely become illusioned. And when you are under illusion, you lose your fine memory. Memory that we should not violate this dharmic principle, that dharmic principle. And once you lose your memory, you lose your intelligence. And that's when you degrade into animalistic life. So next birth, you suffer. As far as karma is concerned, we have already satisfied all our desires. If you really want to enjoy sex, so in the body of a pigeon, you enjoy sex 60 times, 70 times in a day. Monkeys enjoy sex so many times in a day. And you have already taken birth as a monkey. You have already taken birth as a pigeon. And still you want to enjoy the sex life in human body. That is not appreciated. So in 8.4 million species, you have, even in the human body, you have one time you have become a queen, one time you have become a king. One time you have become a beggar, one time you have become a sweeper. All kinds of experience you have already got. So basically, if you hear the seers of truth, they would tell you there is nothing left to enjoy. क्यों रे जॉयस? क्या और तुझे एंजॉय करना है? हैं? फिर आईटी क्यों आ गया? पता नहीं था? हैं? श्री प्रहलाद उवाच मतिर्न कृष्णे परतो सतो वा मिथो विपद्यत गृहव्रतानाम् अदान्त गोभिर्विशतां तमिश्रं पुनः पुनः सर्वित चर्वणानाम्. Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish condition and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own effort, or by a combination of both. Okay? Like we tried our best to attract you to the purpose of life. But many started in the beginning, but slowly we lose them because they still want to enjoy. But there is nothing to be enjoyed. Whatever you think you have enjoyed, everything you have enjoyed. Eating, mating, sleeping, depending, everything you have enjoyed in different species. What else you will enjoy? So, in human form of life, we should look for Brahma Sukha. Brahma Sukhanubhuti. That means we should seek out the transcendental pleasure. Transcendental pleasure. Okay? So, then Kama and Moksha. But in Moksha, what happens normally, in Indian society, it is understood like Bhoga and Tyaga. Now, what is Bhoga Tyaga? Like a boy and girl, they get attracted. That's not love, that is lust. They get married, and after some time, their nature doesn't match, so they go for divorce. This is what is called Bhoga and Tyaga. Okay, this is not Moksha. Another kind. You have a lot of passion. You started your business. Then you have a big loss. And every often, you would see how, people are becoming bankrupt, including Anil Ambani has joined also in that category. And after that, you go to Himalayas to become sannyasa. I will give you an example of Mr. Sambhargav. He was in America and he wanted a big business and he could not succeed. And out of being a complete failure, he came to Himalaya to take shelter. And while wandering among Himalayan kingdom, he somehow met some sadhu or somebody who taught him how to live in Himalayan kingdom, just drinking this much juice. And he gave him a formula. Then he, instead of doing that, he said, oh, this is very nice. I can make a good business out of it. So he went to America and started a big business, energy drink. So probably you can do a Google and check some Bhargav is doing energy drink business. So this is what it is. This kind of things are not moksha. Moksha means you must search out for Brahmanu Sukha. Brahma Sukha. If you are not looking for Brahma Sukha, that is not moksha. Okay. So that is a very nice verse in Bhagavatam. Yanne Ravindakya Vimuktamanina Tvai Astavavad Avisuddha Vidyaya Aruya Kutsrena Parampadam Tata Patanti Yada Anadrita Yusmadangraye. O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotees who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position may think themselves liberated, their intelligence is impure. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. And the example is, one of the example is Saubhari Muni. Saubhari Muni was performing severe austerities within the water. And because he lived within the water, and he became, his bodily feature became very ghastly. And but the tinkling of the bell of the princess who had come to the river to take bath agitated him, and he came out of the water. When he came out of water, he looked so ghastly. These princes, 50 of them, they all ran towards the palace. They were the daughters of King Mandhata. And this Saubhari, because he was performing severe austerities, and king knew, when king saw this Rishi, he became very respectful. But then Rishi made a very unusual demand that I want to marry your daughter. So king got shocked because he saw this ghastly form, and he's saying he wants to get married to my daughter. He said, but he was afraid that if this fellow will curse me, then I'll be doomed. So that's why he said, I will call my daughters. If they appreciate you, I have no problem. So when the daughters were called, each one of them, they said no. And suddenly he realized that his form is very ghastly, right? And please sit down. So he realized that his form is very ghastly. And then because he had already performing such austerity, he has some mystic potency by which he converted himself to very beautiful form. And because of that, each daughter of king got astonished. They were mesmerized. And each one of them, they said, we want to marry. And all 50 of them finally married to Saubhari without having pleasure of, or the king had no, king didn't like it, but the king was forced to marry them with the Saubhari. And king was very angry that his daughters are married to a pauper or a bhikmanga or a beggar, right? And but his wife said, we have given our daughters in marriage. Why not go sometime and see how they are doing? And when king finally agreed, he went, visited. And when he visited Saubhari's ashram, he didn't find kutia. He found 50 palaces, each one of them for one of the daughters of Mandhata. And Saubhari was living with so much of opulence. King was feeling, what is my kingship? Then what he did, he gave up his kingdom and became Krishna conscious. So this is the distinction between Saubhari's moksha and king moksha. Saubhari performed moksha to enjoy, whereas king performed moksha by giving up his kingdom. So this is what moksha, what is moksha? Is if you start taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Okay? So athato brahma jigyasa. Athato brahma jigyasa. That means we should question about the nature of Brahman, nature of truth. Okay? And for that, our mind must be controlled. Mind is central to our seeking the truth. If our mind is contaminated, it is constantly agitated. Suppose you see all the time pornography. You cannot ask the question, what is truth? If you are always eating meat, you cannot ask, what is truth? If you are drinking wine all the time, you are with alcohol, you cannot seek the truth. So when you are intoxicated, you are in illicit sex, you are in meat eating, you are meat eating, you are eating meat and you are gambling, then your mind is very agitated. So to control the mind, you must perform. To control the mind, you must perform activities, which is called punya karma, act of sacrifice. When you perform any action as a service with selfless attitude, that is the beginning of controlling mind. So when mind is controlled, it is your best friend. Mind is uncontrolled, it is your greatest enemy. Okay? So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, and a man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Just like, if you come to IIT, if your uncontrolled mind means you are procrastinating, you are not punctual, you don't get up early morning, you live a life like a hell. But if your mind is controlled, you will get up every day early morning, you will attend all the classes regularly. So mind is controlled. So mind must be controlled. Otherwise, that very mind will give you enough torture. Okay? So, in 6.7, for one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So if you have controlled your mind, then you have reached the plane of tranquility, peace, where you can easily contemplate on the nature of truth. Okay. And in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, after hearing this, he asked this question to Krishna. Oh Krishna, for the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. And to subdue it, it seems to me more difficult than controlling the mind. Sorry, controlling the wind. So Krishna is answering, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by constant practice and by detachment. So one of the things that if you every day you bathe in the message of Bhagavad Gita, you follow these 4 regulative principles, you associate with those who are also practicing, then your mind will be controlled. But if you violate these principles, your mind cannot be controlled. Right? So there are 3 actors in your life. Okay? And these 3 actors, one is soul, that you are. And how you act? Your action is only 2 things. Either you surrender to Krishna or you surrender to Maya. You properly use your free will or misuse your free will. That's all you do. So sometimes you say, joyous, I'm joyous, lokade. I have cracked JE. I am the greatest of all heroes. Please look at me. I am the hero of my town. Correct? But that's not true. But in case of Joyce, what is true is that he is now trying to properly use his free will by surrendering to Krishna. That action is right. Okay? And then, what is super soul? What super soul does? If you are seeking Krishna, he supports you. And if you are seeking Maya, he remains neutral. He says, Maya will take care of you. Okay? So, if you are seeking him, he will do all things possible for you. Okay? Like, those, like our Chaurasia, very Chaurasia. Chaurasia kahan hai? Acha. Chaurasia, last time, during this time, he is the only fellow who was asking nice question. Chaurasia, I remember. So I'm happy now to see Chaurasia in my house. Did you ever dream that you will come to my house? Did you ever dream? You didn't dream. Who did that? Super soul. It is super soul who made it possible. Otherwise, so many Chaurasias are coming to IIT Kanpur. Nobody lands in my house. It is super soul. So super soul would help you if you want your real benefit. But you want to destroy yourself, then super soul, like suppose you have a loving father, right? And you go to your father and say, Father, I want money. Then father would ask, why? No, I want to booze. I want to go to discotheque. Father would say, this is not good. No, I want. And then father said, okay, fine. You can do this, but not in my house. Right? He would not allow you to enjoy nonsense in his own house, right? Suppose your father is a vegetarian, you go and mix with non-vegetarian and you bring non-vegetarian food to the kitchen. What your father would say? Get out. You want to eat? Go out, right? You would say that. So similarly, Krishna, you want Krishna? Krishna will welcome you with not 2 hands, 1,000 hands, right? But you don't want Krishna, what you will do? Maya, please look at him. Please take care of him. He is neutral. Okay? And who are really the actor? Who are really the actor? It is the 3 modes of material nature. They are the actor. Prakrite kriyamanani, gunai karmani sarvasaha, ahankara vimudatma, karta mahamiti manyate. All actions are being done by 3 modes of material nature. Rajaguna, Sattva-guna, and Tamaguna. Okay? The mode of goodness would dictate if you are, what is mode of goodness? Like, for example, you are in my house. This is mode of goodness because we have a temple here. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Whoever comes here, they chant here. We have Tulsi plant here. So this is in mode of goodness. So if you come here, you will have a different effect. But if you go out of the IIT Kanpur gate, you will have beer party, you will have this party, that party. So Raja and Tama would follow there. Okay. So all your actions are being enacted by mode of passion, mode of ignorance, mode of goodness. And I have already told you, we can describe this world in 3 words. What are that? When did I tell that? 3 words? When did I tell this? We can describe this world in 3 words. Janmadi yasyataha. When did I describe that? Yesterday? Day before yesterday? Yesterday. Nobody is listening here, it seems. So 3 words, you can describe this world is creation, maintenance, and destruction. Srushti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Sakti Rekha, Chaya Vayasya Bhavanani Vibharti Durga, Ichchanu Rupam Asya Api Asya Chashtate Sa, Govindam Adi Purusam, Tamaham Bhajami. So what does it mean? That Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Like in IIT was built 50 years ago, something 60 years ago. And now this institute is being maintained. And maintaining the institute is the most difficult thing. Running an institute is the most difficult thing. Getting married is easy. But staying together, maintaining family is the most difficult. Okay? And similarly, no institute has lived for long. Every institute will come to an end. Whether it is British Empire, whether it is Mohenjo-daro Harappa civilization, or our Vedic civilization, everything has come to an end. Okay? So, everything at some point in material life, everything manifests, gets created, and then it is maintained, and finally it's destroyed. As a human being, I took birth, and now I'm in my old age, and after some time, people will write obituary. Oh, Professor Behera left his body. Oh, somebody will scold, and this fellow is a rascal. He was brainwashing everyone. And some fellow would say, no. He was, so kind. He brought me to Krishna consciousness. So like that, people will write obituary. But the real Lakshmindra Behera is not there. He will be somewhere else. So the point here is Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, and 3 modes of material nature according to where you are. When we are supposed to be with mode of goodness, then our longevity is ensured. If you are in mode of ignorance, your longevity is almost curtailed. And you are in the middle when you are in mode of passion, suffering all the time. Mode of passion means you are always in anxiety. You are always in stress. Your life is like a hell. That is mode of passion. And these 3 things together, in different proportion, are there in my body according to my association. Sometimes I read a good book and I'm enlivened, mode of goodness. And suddenly I get a friend who is taking me to a movie hall. Finished. Okay? Or a cafeteria where you do unnecessary talk. Right? So surrender to Krishna the only way. Daivi esa gunamai mama maya durattaya mamevaya prapadyante maya metantarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Before 7.14, Krishna in 7th chapter established that he is the absolute truth in 7.7. Okay. And then he started telling that how this material energy is so illusory. Nobody ever can overcome on this illusory energy can bewilder anyone, including Brahmaji. So he is saying that it is better you surrender to me, because the illusory energy of Krishna liberates you or doesn't touch you when he sees that you have taken shelter of her master. The master of illusory energy is Krishna. So you have taken shelter of Krishna means Krishna's servant is not going to look at you. Otherwise, she will be in danger. Right? That's why, like you say that when the illusion has covered the entire Kuru assembly, and they want to see Draupadi naked, but Draupadi took shelter of Krishna. Immediately, Krishna became infinite sari and protected Draupadi. And the ghastly and cowardly Dusasan was humiliated. Right? Not only humiliated, because of this offense, in the Mahabharata battle, all of them were annihilated mercilessly. So, there are 4 verses in Bhagavad Gita that is gives us essential idea of Bhagavad Gita. 700 verses. You may not have time to read them, but I have already talked about it. There is Chatursloki, 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, 10.11. This is chapter 10. In 10.8, Krishna says, anybody who knows Krishna as the absolute truth surrenders to him with full bhava, with knowledge. When one has the knowledge that Krishna is the absolute truth, Krishna is the source of everything, including mind. He is my eternal source. Then you surrender to Krishna. So when you surrender to Krishna, next thing you do, 10.9, Machitta madgatta prana, bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam, tusyanti cha ramanti cha. So you talk to each other how Krishna is the absolute truth. How Krishna's ever-expansive energy is manifesting millions of trillions of universes. How effortlessly he is maintaining infinite living entities. Millions of universes he is sustaining and maintaining. So you start talking about Krishna. You explain the nature of truth. You explain the nature of Atman, nature of Prakriti. So you do all these things. So, bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam. Once you understand Krishna, you are not going to discuss about what is the price of laptop, what is the price of Kindle, what is the price of this or that. You really talk about the nature of truth. And that way, you remain very happy. Tusyanti cha ramanti cha. You are satisfied and you are in joy. So topics about Krishna gives us the highest joy. We have been talking about Krishna, and I have been talking about Krishna since 1988. This is almost like 33 years. And it is not that, oh, I am now satisfied, I want something else. No, I want more about Krishna. So more you know Krishna, more you want to know him. And as much you want, as much knowledge you gain about Krishna, that knowledge only remains as a drop in the vast ocean. That is the beauty of this. And then Krishna says in 10.10, Tesam satate yuktanam, bhajatam priti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam, yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they come to me. This is so wonderful. This is so wonderful. Krishna ultimately guides us Even if I know who is Krishna, but I am soaked in ignorance. I have no sense of my own spiritual nature. My mind is highly agitated. And I am ever attracted to sinful actions. But if I am determined to live among the devotees, I am determined to follow the regulative principles. That's why it says, Tesam satata yuktana. Satata, always I am connected to Krishna. Then Krishna says, oh, this person is very sincere. He only wants my shelter. Then he gives me guidance. How to come out of my limitations and remain Krishna conscious. And then Krishna says, Tesam evanukam partham aham ajnanajam tamaha nasvayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. And that means my journey from imperfection to perfection, I only desire, I want to be perfected. Ultimately, my perfection is executed by Krishna alone. Krishna alone executes the process of perfection. One has to be very clear. And that's why he says, to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy the shining lamp of knowledge, the darkness burn of ignorance. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is what is called Krishna consciousness. And Lord Krishna's supreme instruction. This is 18.65, last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaisyasi satyam te prati jane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Krishna says, this is his supreme instruction. Manmana, always think of Krishna. Madbhakto, become devotee of Krishna. Madhyaji, worship Krishna. Namaskuru, offer obeisances to Krishna. Mam evaisyasi, one will attain Krishna. Satyam, for sure. Pratijane, priyosime. O Arjuna, you declare. No. Krishna is saying, I declare. I promise you. Pratijane, priyosime. My dear friend, I promise that you will attain me. So you ask yourself, are you doing this? Manmana, madbhakto, madhyaji, namaskuru. So, sarva dharman, and next supreme instruction, 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshaisami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So when it comes, Ari Baba, one day we will die, I will die, all of us will die. Death is sure. Your youth would not remain with you all the time, just like your childhood has been snatched. Is there any childhood for you? My dear friend, Jayas, if you now go and tell your mother, Mummy, I'm your little kid. So your mummy will give you a slap. He said, get out. I have already brought you up. You are now adult. Learn how to stand on your own leg. Even if you want to behave like a child, your mother would not appreciate it. You understand this? First of all, you cannot get back it, right? I would like my children to become a small kid because they were very nice that time. But I cannot get them like in that form. It's not possible. Similarly, one day we have to leave. Who is our shelter? You have not taken shelter of Krishna. So how you are going to be saved at the time of death? So that's why sarva dharman paritejya mam ekam saranam braja. When ultimate call comes, I cannot say, oh, my house is there, my wife is there, my son is there, my business is there. No, my dear friend, you'll be snatched away from everything. Better surrender to Krishna in time. Oh, Krishna, you are calling me? Thank you very much. Enough is enough. Please save me. Okay? So this is the best welfare activity. Krishna is saying, what is the best welfare activity? Everybody, there are many, they want to do welfare activity. You just look at it, you want to do welfare activity? Yes or no? And this is what is welfare activity. Krishna saying, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees. That is, supreme secret is what? Bhagavad Gita. Pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, you will come back to me. This is the best welfare activities. And he says that there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. This is 18.66 and 18.69. Okay. And finally, hey, conclusion. Where is the conclusion? I really thank you for this such a live and okay. So only a human being can ask such questions and can find answers. Okay. What is the basic building block of this universe? What is the difference between a living body and dead body? If chemical origin of life is true, then why have we not been successful in even creating a blade of grass? What did cause so much of diversity in this universe? In fact, once I was in IIIT Gwalior, somebody suddenly said, what is the necessity of these insects? He challenged me. I said, what is the necessity of yours? Then I explained to him that without you, the world can exist. But without the world, you cannot exist. Did you follow what I said? If the plants, water bodies, these are not there, you cannot exist. But without you, they can exist. So that means how much narrow mentality we have. What is our degraded consciousness? He has a problem with the insect, but he doesn't have a problem with his own nonsense. Conscious we are, but what is that consciousness? How is it different from matter? How is divine plane different from the plane of mundane? Ultimately, what is the absolute truth? Given a seed and field, a nice tree manifests. When a man and woman unite, a beautiful baby manifests. All the planetary systems are put into motion in a perfect manner, which is beyond our contemplation. What is the science behind this apparent self-organized universe? Why don't we ask such questions? After all, we are human beings. As a human being, we are supposed to ask this kind of questions. If you ask this kind of questions, then you like Bhagavad Gita. But if you are simply interested to satisfy your tongue, satisfy your sex desire, satisfy your bodily necessities, then you cannot ask this kind of questions. Okay. So there are 9 processes of devotional service by which we can serve Krishna. Sravanam, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Sravanam, we must hear about Krishna. We must hear Krishna's instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Kirtanam, and just like today in the program, I started with chanting of Hare Krishna. Okay. So whatever I'm speaking now is also Kirtanam. I'm describing about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. This is called Kirtanam. I am doing Kirtanam and you are hearing. You are doing Sravanam. Both are equal. Suppose nobody is there to hear. Can I do Kirtana? I cannot do Kirtana. So that is why I am grateful to all of you who have gathered in my house and who are there in the online, because you are here, and that is why I have the opportunity to do Kirtanam. Sravanam, Kirtanam. Whom? Vishnu, Krishna. Smaranam. Remember. After hearing and doing Kirtan, what is the next step? I remember. I remember all activities related to Krishna. Padasavanam. I serve Krishna. Archanam. I worship him. Bandhanam. I offer prayer to Krishna. Dasyam. I become his order carrier. Sakhyam. I become his friend like Arjuna or Uddhava. Atma Nivedanam. I fully surrender to him. So this is the 9 ways by which we can surrender to Krishna. The end note. Yashyatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke sodhi kalatra disubhauma ijyadhi yatirtha buddhi salilena karichit janesu avigyesu saive saeva gokhara. One who identifies himself as a nut body composed of mucus, bile and air, who assumes his wife and family are permanently his own, who thinks an earthen image of or the land of his birth is worshipable, or who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there, but who never identifies himself with, feels kinship with, worships, or even visits those who are wise in spiritual truth. Such a person is no better than a cow or an ass. In a human form of life, you must approach a teacher. If you do not value a sadhu, you cannot attain the qualities of a sadhu. So, unless we make it a habit, that human, just like a physicist, always would like to associate with other physicists. Similarly, a seeker of truth, a human being is meant to be a seeker of truth, must seek out the association of those who are more advanced. Okay? So conclusion, human birth is very rare, is only meant for Athatha Brahma Jigyasa. Art of mind control through Krishna consciousness is the only way. Follow 4 regulative principles. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are eternal servant of Lord Krishna. Thus, engagement in devotional service is essential. That is natural. To awaken our dormant Krishna consciousness is the real atonement. Professional excellence and pure devotional service complement each other. If you follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita, you become a better student, better son, better father, better mother, better leader, better businessman, everything. In whatever you do, if you accept Krishna consciousness, you will excel in everything that what you choose to do. And Lord Krishna, as advises Arjuna, Tasma sarvesu kalesu ma manusmara yudhyasya mayarpita manobuddhir ma vaivaisyasya samsaya. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me, your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope this session was useful to some of you. Now the question answer session. Ashok Patel, should we buy original Bhagavad Gita or its other versions like Bhagavad Gita as it is according to Gandhi? No, you should buy Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So this is the book. Have you given this book to them? You don't give? And where is my study guide? This may be a little tough in the beginning, but the best one is my study guide. You register in Learn Gita, Leave Gita, and this is the book. You will surely relish it. Next. So this and this together. So you finish this one, and then you can read this. I'm also making a course on the Bhagavad Gita as it is chapter wise. Okay, first let us take the. So tomorrow there will be quiz, and those who will do good in the quiz will get very special award. Okay, so there is a quiz, very wonderful quiz, 7 to 8:15. Oh, okay. Okay, we will see. Okay, we can do little. By 7:30 I'll be free, or 7:15 also. Yeah, 7:15. By 7:15 I'll be free. Monis Dutt, sir, why it is wrong to eat non-veg? Please eat. I have no problem. Okay, please eat. I have no problem. But cut them. You yourself kill them and eat. Just like a tiger doesn't menace a slaughterhouse. Tiger goes to the jungle and catches an animal and eats. So you eat like that. Not only you eat, kill the animal, see the suffering, and cook yourself, and then eat. Or you eat raw. I have no problem. Okay? But this, slaughterhouse business is surely ghora papa. Neither you will have a good life in this very life. You will not have a good birth. You can't enjoy this life, and what to speak of your future life. Okay, so it's so cruel. It's so cruel, Manis. Think about it. Think about it. Somebody comes and kills you. How do you feel? So this is not nice. Satyam Gupta, if eating non-veg is wrong, then why eating veg isn't wrong, as they are also living? No, you don't kill a plant. You pluck a fruit. And all the paddy crops, you don't kill them. When you grow the paddy crop, when they are already dead, you collect the paddy, right? Because that is that is the method. See, Krishna has given us quota. What is our food? He has told us what is my food. Isabhasyam idam sarvam yatkinchya jagatyam jagat tena tektana bhunjita ma gudha kasya siddhanam. Krishna has given quota for everyone. For the cows, it is grass. For us, vegetables, rice, wheat, milk. These are our staple food. So everyone has given their quota. So don't encroach upon other quota. Is Maya creation of our mind or Krishna? No, it's creation of Krishna. If Krishna created Maya, then why he created it? Because you don't want him. Like I gave the example. If your father, you demand from your father that give me money so that I can enjoy a prostitute, I want to drink alcohol, your father would say, my dear friend, find a different place. Similarly, in the Krishna spiritual abode, you cannot do all these things. So he creates an illusion and puts you there. where you think you are the master. One is that. Is meaning of word love really exist? Meaning of word love really exists. Even basic unit of our body, give electron to other atom to taking one from it. There is mutual sharing. I don't understand what he's saying. I
think so. He's comparing the spiritual love to the Maya love, illusionary love.
No, love means to attain. Love can be defined when you attain your real nature. When you are in illusion, what is love? Nothing is true here. Everything is a dream for you. Just like while sleeping, you dream. And as soon as you awake, your dream is gone. Similarly, everything in this body is a dream. As soon as you die, all your dreams are finished. Trillions of lives have come here, and they were dreaming. And suddenly death comes, everything is finished. Okay? So it is up to you to decide whether you are dreaming or you are really awake. If you are really awake, ensure that you live eternally. Okay? Bal, yes. What about eating onion, garlic, so it can be hurdle to moksha? Yes, onion, anything that is mode of ignorance, we should not eat. And according to our literature, onion and garlic are also in mode of ignorance. But this is, see, what is important as of now, you are a beginner. As of now for you, most important is that you read Bhagavad Gita more and chant Hare Krishna. We'll have a session soon on that, what you should do. Okay? Why do we call all children form of God, and what differentiates us as we grow in life? No. We don't call children a form of God. We never say that. Okay? That is an illusion. Where it is written in Bhagavad Gita? In Bhagavad Gita, it is never written. In fact, as a children, we are highly ignorant. Isn't it? As a child, for no reason, you will put your finger in the fire. We are observing Janmashtami, Krishna Janmashtami in ISKCON Kanpur. That time, that was simply a barren land, and we organized that. And because there was nothing, so we had put a tent and big, what is it called? The fan. And my daughter, Lalita, she was, I think, that time 2-year-old, 2-year-old and 2.5 years probably. 2 years. And she would always go towards the fan and would put her finger. And her mother would always try to stop her. But she did it. In spite of doing that, she did it. Okay? And her finger was cut completely. In the middle of every engagement of ours, she has to be rushed to the hospital. Right? So children are most ignorant. They have no knowledge. So so these are the kind of hallucination we have. Which child is formed? They can be innocent, but that innocence is in ignorance. Right? Shivanshu Thete, as third, fourth chapter, forced detachment from any activity is also of no use. Then what is the method to detach? Consider everything belongs to Krishna. That is real detachment. When you recognize everything belongs to Krishna and use everything in Krishna's service, that is 100% detachment. In fact, you cannot be detached from anything because you don't know nothing. When you are burned naked. When you die naked. Neither you brought anything to this world, nor you will carry anything from this world. So real detachment is detached attaching everything to Krishna, recognizing everything is Krishna's opulence. And that is what in Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the sunshine, I am the moonshine, I am the taste of the water, I am the ability of man. He goes on like that. Next, Nikita Yadav. What detachment refers to? Is it to detach from our dear ones? Detachment, I told that. Detachment means attaching everything to Krishna. So if you have family members, connect them to Krishna. You first connect yourself to Krishna and connect everyone else to connect to Krishna, if you can do it. Next. Can a soul attain moksha or Krishna consciousness in any form of life? No, only in human form of life. Only in a human form of life. Other forms are very exceptional. That you will learn later. But only in human form of life, you will have you can attain moksha. Yes. Okay. I thank everyone. I would like some of you to share your realization during this 5-day course. Those who want to share, please raise your hand. How this course helped you? Please raise your hand. Satyam Gupta, please unmute yourself and speak.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna.
Sir, I was not at all कि मैं ये सब बातों में मतलब मानूं या कुछ करूं, मैं मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं था, अभी भी उतना ज्यादा नहीं हूँ, बट अब मेरा सोचने का तरीका बदल गया है।
Thank you so much.
है, मतलब अच्छा लगा मुझे बहुत आपका ये सब।
But so if you associate more, Satyam, I can give you guarantee, you will be a different individual. You are not one of the so many. You will be very special. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Anupal. Yes, unmute.
हरे कृष्णा सर।
Yes, Hare Krishna.
सर मैंने पहले भी मतलब आपका कोर्स मतलब सबसे पहले हरे कृष्णा टीवी पे सुना था आपका वो इंटरव्यू एक मुलाकात कृष्ण भक्ति के साथ, और उसके बाद फिर मैंने आपका लर्न गीता लिव गीता कोर्स जेई एडवांस मेरा हुआ था 3 तारीख को, 4 तारीख को खरीदा था इस्कॉन टेम्पल कानपुर से। तो मतलब
हाँ, you are so connected already.
फिर उसके बाद मैंने एक चैप्टर फिनिश कर लिया था, लेकिन फिर मतलब तब तक रिजल्ट आ गया था, फिर पता चला हाँ ठीक ठाक रैंक थी, फिर आईआईटी कानपुर ज्वाइन कर लिया।
हाँ। बढ़िया। ये कोर्स से क्या मिला, बताओ, 1-2 लाइन तो बता दो।
अभी तो बस कनेक्शन थोड़ा सा बढ़ रहा है, मतलब स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज।
गुड।
पहले थोड़ा सा मीट ईटिंग भी करता था, अब थोड़ी सी छूट गई है मीट ईटिंग तो।
बढ़िया। थैंक यू। नाउ यू हैव टू टेक योर ह्यूमन लाइफ वेरी सीरियसली. Don't consider your human life in a lackadaisical manner. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next. और कोई? Anybody else would like to share? Ayush Agarwal, Ujjwal Kumar, Meghna Aligati, Ankit Khandelwal, Aryavardhan Singh. Any one of you would like? Okay. Thank you again, everyone, for joining this course, and I wish you all the best. Lord Krishna bless all of you. Thank you very much. So we will announce the quiz day to all of you in time. Okay. Thank you very much.